Hey everybody, good evening and welcome to this virtual version of the Linden Tree Coffee House. It is absolutely my pleasure to be broadcasting this evening in partnership with the Linden Tree, an extraordinary community coffee house based in Wakefield, Massachusetts. Folks that have presented me many times, and I'm so sad that we can't be together in person right now, but also incredibly grateful that you all have tuned in. My dear friend and colleague Anna Ratliff is running the stream for me. I can't actually see what's going on in the stream while I'm performing, but I will read comments and respond later. And you're always welcome to send me a note through my website. That's joejencks.com. And I'm happy to sort of do a post-game chat with all of you after the fact. Thanks so much for showing up, and thanks to Liz Freeman and the whole crew there at the Linden Tree. I miss you guys a whole bunch, and I look forward to being together in person as soon as possible. But we'll start out with this for the night and get all the mics where they're supposed to be. And here we go. Well, I may not be the smartest man that ever walked on earth, and some of what's gone well for me might be an accident to birth. Oh, but deep inside, the mystery surrounding me and you is something I have come to know and hold is deeply true. Well, you may be a woman from the right side of town, going out evenings in the finest of gowns. Oh, but one thing's for certain, no matter the shoes, sooner or later everybody sings the blues. You may be ironic, you may be a clown, you may swear that you'll never wear your smile upside down. Ah, but one thing's for certain, whether you win or lose, sooner or later everybody sings the blues. Oh, lonely, we all get lonely sometimes. There's nothing anyone can do but hang on for just another day and hope to see it through. You may be a clown, you may swear that you'll never wear your smile upside down. Ah, but one thing's for certain, whether you win or lose, sooner or later everybody sings the blues. Yes, one thing's for certain, you know it ain't news, sooner or later everybody sings the blues. Yes, sooner or later everybody sings the blues. Well, hopefully for those of you that have been singing the blues of late, this evening will cheer you up just a little bit. And I'm imagining myself on stage there in Wakefield and I'm imagining so many of you that I see every time I'm there. The song is called All About Love. I don't know how to keep on walking this line between my visions and the highway sign. I don't know how to keep on striking the spark to ignite the flames that will pierce the dark. But I'm already gone if I can't live while I'm here. Yes, I'm already gone if I can't love through the fear. It's awful hard to keep from being a wreck when I feel the breath of the reaper cooled on my neck. It's hard to live inside the rhyme and the rhythm of the song, to respirate my gratitude and pretend that nothing is wrong. But I'm already gone if I can't live while I'm here. Yes, I'm already gone if I can't love through the fear. So I hang on tight and watch the slipping sand, try to hold the contradictions in the palm of my hand. For every grain that tumbles, there are more that remain. But the hand that closes to a fist loses all that it contains. So let it crack wide open, let this broken heart bleed. Let it soak through the soil and nourish the seed. Let the water from my eyes be a gift to the parched land. Till all my sisters and brothers rejoice hand in hand. 'Cause I'm already gone if I can't live while I'm here. Yes, I'm already gone if I can't love through the fear. If I can't love through the fear, sisters and brothers, we must love through the fear. It's all about love. 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 Well, I had a request for this next song. It's called Automechanically Decline, and it's one that I wrote reflecting about the difference between my chosen career path as an artist and a musician and what my father did for a living as a electrical and mechanical engineer. And, when I decided I wanted to go off and study music, he was very supportive, but I think he began to consider the possibility that we were headed in very, very different trajectories in life. I think he'd known that for quite a while, but college meant something very, very different for him as an engineer than what it meant for me, and that was probably most apparent when I came home after first semester freshman year, requesting tights and makeup and ballet slippers, stage makeup, for theatrical productions that I was in, and mandatory dance classes. And I remember him bringing the Christmas list to me and pointing to the word tights, and he said, "You mean sweatpants, don't you?" And I said, "No, Dad, I'm taking ballet." Woohoo! Basic laws of physics and Newtonian physics in particular really put a short stop to my career as a ballet dancer. But, there it is. It was pretty clear to me from early on that that was really not my calling, dance, but I was required. And at the end of first semester freshman year, I do recall the ballet instructor saying, "Perhaps you'd like to try tap dance next semester." So this one is for my old man. May he rest in peace and good humor. It's called Automechanically Declined. I'm driving down the highway and my car begins to shake. I don't know whether I should push the clutch or push the brake. A most peculiar odor comes wafting to my nose. Is it a leaky gasket or a radiator hose? The fluid level's perfect and the temperature seems fine, but suddenly a disconcerting thought runs through my mind. For I know if I should break down in the middle of nowhere, all that I can do is pop the hood and just sit there and stare. Because I'm automechanically declined, automechanically declined, with an automatic or a stick. Either way I'm up a crick. I'm automechanically declined. When I was just a boy, my father sat me on his knee, explained to me how engines work with great simplicity. A piston, it moves up and down inside a metal tube. All it takes is coolant and a little bit of lube. A gasoline explosion gives us power, gives us sound. In turn rotates the drive shaft, and that makes the wheels go round. It's really rather simple, it's not voodoo to the wise. But I still think mechanics are witch doctors in disguise. Because I'm automechanically declined, automechanically declined, with an automatic or a stick. Either way I'm up a crick. I'm automechanically declined. Where to put the oil, I know where to put the glass, where to put the wiper fluid, and just where to set my glass. When it comes to troubleshooting, then I call out work for hire. All that I can do is watch for smoke and see what's caught on fire. Because I'm automechanically declined, automechanically declined, with an automatic or a stick. Either way I'm up a crick. I'm automechanically declined, I'm automechanically declined. One more time. I'm automechanically declined. Well, thank you very much. So we're all getting more comfortable with, this sort of newfangled way of getting things done, but that doesn't really make it any less surreal or any more bizarre, any less bizarre rather, to hold on to the abstraction of the idea that I'm here and you're all over the place. And yet I can, in fact, feel the energy of people singing along, of people lending their enthusiasm. I can't tell you how, but somehow it's there. It's in the ether and in the ways in which we're connected to each other. So thanks for that. This is one that I wrote just as the COVID curtain was falling, and it's called Love Will Guide My Way. If you know it, sing along. I will greet the morning, and I will greet the day, and I will greet the evening. Love will guide my way. The sun goes down, the sun comes up, the earth goes round, and I fill my cup with the goodness all around me. I know love will guide the way. Well, I will greet the morning, and I will greet the day, and I will greet the evening. Love will guide my way. The money comes and the money goes. I count my blessings, count my woes, but the kindness all around me grows. Love will guide my way. Well, I will greet the morning, and I will greet the day, and I will greet the evening. Love will guide my way. Through broken hearts and broken bones, by internet or mobile phones, through gentle or impassioned tones, love will guide my way. Well, I will greet the morning, and I will greet the day, and I will greet the evening. Love will guide my way. Through times of fear and sadness, through times of joy and gladness, through apocalyptic madness, I know love will guide my way. Well, I will greet the morning, and I will greet the day, and I will greet the evening. Love will guide my way. So put your hands up to the rafters, sing and shout with laughter. 'Cause if it's hope you're after, I know love will guide the way. Well, I will greet the morning, and I will greet the day, and I will greet the evening. Love will guide my way. Yes, we will greet the morning, we will greet the day, we will greet the evening. Love will guide the way. Yes, we will greet the evening. Love will guide the way. Through whatever else may happen, I know love will guide the way. Thanks for singing. Gonna swap instruments. Had a request for this song as well, and it's a song written by my dear friend John Brooks up in Toronto. It's called Mercy. And for those seeing this instrument for the first time, this is an electric bouzouki built for me by my good friend Baird Blaine down in Fayetteville, Arkansas, Baird Guitars. He also made the acoustic bouzouki for me. These are both instruments in the mandolin family. used to admire most a melody and all it could do with love and words. I used to admire most a poet who with a pen untangled this world into verse. I used to admire all that I thought profound. I plagiarized the prophets and the saints. Oh, but now that I'm older, oh, it's mercy that I admire most. Oh, it's mercy that I admire most. Well, I waited out my low youth for a fallow spectacle, lines snaking round coliseums. I marched in the drench under fame's sophist clenched, and I paid hard-earned money just to see 'em. Oh, but now that I'm older, oh, it's mercy that I admire most. Oh, it's mercy that I admire most. I admire the pure of heart that will one thing. I admire the steady in their routine. I admire decision and the mind that endures it, and those who speak though they be shamed. I admire the reckless voices for the voiceless, and the man standing in the path of tanks. Oh, but now that I'm older, oh, it's mercy that I admire most. Oh, it's mercy that I admire most. Oh, it's mercy. Thank you, and thanks Doug in New Mexico and Judy down in Texas for requesting that song. Yeah. This next one is, for many people, a very patriotic, quintessential American song. And my good friend Jesse Paladowski in the Washington, D.C. area, who is both a phenomenal songwriter and musician and also a chaplain, took this set of words and reworked them in such an amazing way to reflect how he feels about this country. And he's just put a video up of this with several other singers taking lead. And anyways, this is Jesse Paladowski's words to America the Beautiful, and just a couple that I added in myself, taken after his lead there. So, oh, beautiful for spacious skies, for amber waves of grain, for purple mountains' majesties above thy fruited plain. America, America, God shed much grace on thee, and spread the love sent from above, from sea to shining sea. Oh, beautiful beautiful thy immigrants who hail from every land, their hope and heart and diligence, like gifts from God's own hand. America, America, thy grace shall yet remain to greet the poor who reach thy shore with open arms again. Oh, beautiful, thy working folk built cities, tilled the soil. Proud Africans in bloody chains, the wealth built from their toil. America, America, God shed much grace on thee and spread the love sent from above, from sea to shining sea. Oh, beautiful, oh, Mother Earth, all nestled at your breast, just as we sing with love and pride, so are all nations blessed. America, America, alone cannot abide. God give thee pause to mend thy flaws, with truth thy only guide, and spread the love sent from above, with graciousness abide, and spread the love like peaceful doves from sea to shining sea. Thank you, Jesse, for that. So Liz Freeman, who is co-hosting this evening for the Linden Tree, and thanks again, Liz. Thanks to the Linden Tree and for all the crew there. I miss you so much. But Liz's sister worked with Cesar Chavez and with the farm workers movement, and was a martyr of the farm workers movement. Sadly, I think in 1972. Liz can post something in the chat there and correct me if I'm wrong, but we had a wonderful conversation about Liz's sister, and so I wanted to sing this song in honor of, you know, those words that Jesse wrote: "A beautiful thy immigrant, who hail from every land. How beautiful thy working folk built cities, tilled the soil." These ideas that Jesse has rewritten into America the Beautiful. Those are the people that Cesar Chavez was working for and with, and the people that Liz's sister was working for and with when she was sadly killed for her organizing efforts. But this is a song of celebration, and one that was sort of the heart of United Farm Workers. It was sort of their anthem. It's called De Colores. And so even though we speak of some things that have sadness in them, that was a movement that believed in celebrating life very deeply. And this is a song that captures that, talks about the many colors of nature, the many colors and the sounds of the birds, of the roosters and the hens and the little chicks. And then it talks about equally the brilliant colors of the people shine like the lights in the sky, like the aurora, the rainbow. and that reflects those colors up there, the beauty of humanity, and that we all shine like diamonds. And the last verse to this was written by a dear friend of mine in the San Francisco area, Francisco Herrera. And so just wanted to give him credit for the rewrite on the last verse of this, for those of you who know this song. Well, De Colores, please sing along from home if you want to, or wherever else you happen to be. I'm guessing one or two of you might be out in public, and that might be an interesting thing to hear people singing De Colores randomly out in the world, but that thought makes me happy as well. So sing on, people. De colores se visten los campos en la primavera. De colores son los pajaritos que vienen de fuera. De colores es el arco iris que vemos lucir. Y por eso los grandes amores de muchos colores me gustan a mí. Y por eso los grandes amores de muchos colores me gustan a mí. Canta el gallo con el kiri, 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 kiri. La gallina con el cara, 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 cara. Los polluelos con el pío, 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 pío. Y por eso los grandes amores de muchos colores me gustan a mí. Y por eso los grandes amores de muchos colores me gustan a mí. De colores brillantes y finos se vista la aurora. De colores son los mil reflejos que el sol atesora. De colores se viste mi raza que vemos lucir. Y por eso los grandes amores de muchos colores me gustan a mí. Y por eso los grandes amores de muchos colores me gustan a mí. Y por eso los grandes amores de muchos colores me gustan a mí. Y por eso los grandes amores de muchos colores me gustan a mí. There you go. De colores. Liz had only one other request for this evening, and that was a song of mine called Links in a Chain, and I'd love to sing that for her and for all of you, obviously. I have to say that in the last 8 months, as I've spent a whole lot more time at home, and as our circles have gotten so much smaller in terms of people that we spend time with one-on-one or perhaps in a small group, I have come to really appreciate my family in new ways. And I've come to appreciate the gifts that the past generations have given us. And I have come to understand the ways in which we carry that forward very differently. My family does a Saturday morning Zoom event. Every Saturday morning we hop on for, at a minimum, an hour, sometimes as much as 2 hours. And we're all spread across the country and we all catch up and connect. And so anyways, Liz, thanks for asking for this song, and Links in a Chain. Late summer morning, front porch sweet, a tear in grandmother's eye, telling me tales of my mother's childhood, how they got by. years of war, years of depression, they barely made it through. She smiles at me and says that wisdom, let it carry on in you. Links in a chain unbroken, words of a prayer unspoken, invisible hands reaching through time. We each have a piece of the story, each have a share in the glory, and a chance to pass it along for those who remain. Links in the chain. Girls got cookies, PTA, baseball games in the yard, potlucks in the parish hall. My parents worked so hard, now it's a marble stone on the edge of town as we bow our heads and sing. 40 years, 7 children, and some well-worn wedding rings. Links in a chain unbroken, words of a prayer unspoken, invisible hands reaching through time. We each have a piece of the story, each have a share in the glory, and a chance to pass it along for those who remain. Links in the chain. Cooking a meal, setting a place, washing our hands, saying our grace, remembering those who gathered before us, teaching a child, turning a page, singing a song, standing on stage, adding our part to the chorus. Links in a chain unbroken, words of a prayer unspoken, invisible hands reaching through time. We each have a piece of the story, each have a share in the glory, and a chance to pass it along for those who remain. Links in a chain unbroken, words of a prayer unspoken, invisible hands reaching through time. We each have a place in the story, each have a share in the glory, and a chance to pass it along for those who remain. Links in the chain. Links in the chain. There you are. Thanks, Liz. Thanks to the Linden Tree. I offer these concerts free of charge, but of course, even in these times, with basically all of my concerts from March forward in 2020 being canceled, I do need your support. And it's never expected, but always appreciated. So if you can, please make a donation through PayPal or Venmo, or you can send a check, and Anna can post a business mailing address where you can send a check if you want to. And anyway, thanks for showing up, and we'll keep singing for a while yet, but just wanted to do that little bit. I've realized now that one of the things that's different about touring for me from the basement as opposed to touring from the Toyota Camry is that I do not have to keep change on hand to make change for people at the CD table. But recordings are still available. We've got a brand new store set up. Anna sort of tore her hair out to get that all squared away. Many thanks, Anna. And if you go to joejencks.com, there is a store set up with various recordings, and we'll get some other things up there in the coming months. But thanks for continuing to support the music and in various ways. Much appreciated. So this is a song I wrote with some fifth graders at Waukegan North Elementary. And it feels very important right now. And I was so delighted when I walked into their classroom last fall to work on songwriting with them that this is what they wanted to write about. And so I provide the music and sort of the skills of songcrafting and take their ideas and work with them and help them understand how to take raw ideas and turn them into poetry and song. And this was the product of Miss Hollander's class, and my work with them is called You've Got to Vote, which seems so appropriate right now. You've got to vote. You've got to vote. Don't stand on the sidelines. Don't be remote. You know it's your right to exercise your power. So get yourself involved. Go out and vote. Susan B. Anthony said women have the right to vote in elections. We will stand and fight. She was arrested. She showed courage and might. She was brave and said the revolution is in sight. You've got to vote. You've got to vote. Don't stand on the sidelines. Don't be remote. Know it's your right to exercise your power. So get yourself involved, go out and vote. When we vote, we get to choose the leaders who will represent our communities and views. But if you don't participate and let your voice be heard, it may not turn out how you want. Your vote is your word. You've got to vote. You've got to vote. Don't stand on the sidelines. Don't be remote. You know it's your right to exercise your power. So get yourself involved. Go out and vote. The Voting Rights Act passed in 1965. People of all colors from every walk of life have the right to vote. We get to have our say in how to run the country. We will bring the greater day. You've got to vote. You've got to vote. Don't stand on the sidelines. Don't be remote. You know it's your right to exercise your power. So get yourself involved, go out and vote. Yes, get yourself involved, go out and vote. Yes, get yourself involved, go out and vote. Many of you already have, many of you will. I will be voting on Election Day on November 3rd, just about 3 blocks away from my house. So I'll mask up and head out and participate in democracy. And I hope you, in whatever ways feel right to you, whether it's in person or by mail, however you do it, please go vote. It's so important this year. And in that spirit, a song that I know many of you would be disappointed if I didn't play tonight. A song that I wrote after visiting Ellis Island and thinking about my ancestors and their journey here, and thinking about those that came with no luggage, those that were brought here as enslaved Africans against their will, thinking about the Chinese population that were invited over as guest workers but denied the opportunity to become citizens for many, many decades. I was thinking about all of those stories, and of course, those that were here first, the people who lived here, the First Nations, the Indigenous Americans, Native Americans, the American Indian. So holding all of that in mind, this is a piece of my family's story, and in some way probably part of your family's story as well. And there are those that want to close the doors of welcome to this country. There are those that see the influence of other cultures and other people somehow as a threat. And I grew up with parents who had foreign exchange students regularly in our home. They couldn't afford to take us around the world. They couldn't afford to bring 7 children all over the world. But nonetheless, they wanted us to be global citizens and understand the world that we lived in. And part of how they did that was to invite students from many other countries and cultures into our home. And I'm so incredibly grateful for that. I just assumed that was the experience of all people. And as I've gotten older, I've come to realize that that diversity of culture and that diversity of knowledge of other cultures is less common than I wish it were. So in that spirit, I sing this song, Lady of the Harbor. Far away in distant lands, the tempest tossed with hopeful hearts and calloused hands reached toward the light, the torch held high, and cast their gaze upon the Lady of the Harbor, and she welcomes them with open arms. She says, let my children in. Shine on, shine on, oh you Lady of the Harbor. So it was with my own kin. They sailed from Sweden and from France and Ireland, and their earthly cares packed in their bags. They cast their gaze upon the Lady of the Harbor, and she welcomed them with open arms. She said, let my children in. Shine on, shine on, oh you Lady of the Harbor. Now we're locking down the borders and we're filling up the jails, and we say they don't belong. How conveniently do we forget that we've all come to sing the same sweet song? Will the dream survive the strain? Will huddled masses have a chance to learn its sweet refrain? Or will we fall into our fears and turn our backs against the Lady of the Harbor? And she welcomes them with open arms. She says, let my children in. Shine on, shine on, oh you Lady of the Harbor. Shine on, shine on, oh you lady of the harbor, oh you lady of the harbor. I've gotten so used to playing in a context where, even though I know you're out there, I don't necessarily hear you or see you. And in late August, I was in Lamont Village, Pennsylvania, and the Acoustic Brew Coffee House hosted an outdoor concert on a hillside. They'd come out and marked out give or take 15 square foot parcels of land in which two people could set chairs in the middle of and create, a socially distanced, safe outdoor listening environment. And for the first time in many months, I played for a live concert audience in person. And I got done with the first song, and they erupted in a kind of applause as if I had, made a touchdown at a Super Bowl or something. And I did sing very well on that first song, I have to own, but that really wasn't quite what they were responding to. It was just hearing music again live in a room, in a space. And the land sort of created a natural amphitheater there, a natural space. And it was so amazing. But when they erupted in applause, I flinched. I wasn't used to the sound anymore, and that still cracks me up. That we get used to new things and we keep on moving, and that is the resiliency and the incredible spirit of not only the folk community but of the human being. And so glad to be connected with so many of you in so many different ways. I know this song speaks to where many people are right now. It's a song I wrote many years ago. It's called Sad. And without realizing it, I had written this song on National Donut Day. I didn't realize that there was a National Donut Day, and how that became a thing, I don't know either. I'm sure somebody could find that on Wikipedia somewhere, but you'll understand why that was a little bit ironic when you hear the song. Well, I'm sad, so sad, and I'm tired, so tired. Well, I'm hungry, so hungry. There's a hole in my soul, and it swallows me up and pulls me into the darkness. There's a hole in the center of me. There's a hole in the center of me. Well, I've never been one to sing about my troubles. I figure most of the world has enough of their own. But now and then I think that when we sing about our truth, maybe we light up a pathway for somebody else. So I'm sad, so sad, and I'm tired, so tired. Well, I'm hungry, so hungry. There's a hole in my soul, and it swallows me up and pulls me into the darkness. There's a hole in the center of me. There's a hole in the center of me. Sometimes at night, when the whole world is quiet, when there's nothing to hear but the sound of my breath, when there's nothing to hear but the sound of my breath, it's then that I wonder why there's so many people with so many hurts. We still struggle to love. Well, I'm sad, so sad, and I'm tired, so tired. Well, I'm hungry, so hungry. There's a hole in my soul, and it swallows me up and pulls me into the darkness. There's a hole in the center of me. There's a hole in the center of me. I like to dream of a time when I'm happy, when I don't feel the sting of each pain in my bones. But then I reflect that the day I stop feeling is the day that they lay me flat down in the earth. Well, I'm sad, so sad, and I'm tired, so tired. Well, I'm hungry, so hungry. There's a hole in my soul, and it swallows me up and pulls me into the darkness. There's a hole in the center of me. There's a hole in the center of me. Well, I'm sad, so sad, and I'm tired, so tired. Well, I'm hungry, so hungry. There's a hole in my soul, and it swallows me up and pulls me into the darkness. There's a hole in the center of me. There's a hole in the center of me. There's a hole in the center of me. It was not until after I had written the song that I found out it was National Donut Day and had a good chuckle. And it just felt like the quintessential humor of the universe coming back at me like, oh yeah, you think you're going to write a serious song? Well, guess what? It's National Donut Day. Get over it. There was a wonderful episode of The West Wing where Deborah Fitterer, the President Bartlett's second secretary, is looking at a picture on the wall of the outside office of the Oval Office, and she incorrectly identifies who it is. Thought it was Edmund Burke, and it was Thomas Paine, and Leo McGarry comes in and says something about these are the times that try men's souls, and she puts her hands on her hips and says, "Get over yourself, Tom." And that's kind of what it felt like when I wrote that song. You know, I was taking myself all serious, and then the universe said, "Get over yourself, Jencks." So that's where it was at. And all right. This next song came up in conversation with one of my sisters last weekend, I think. And I had not sung it in quite some time, and warmed it up this week, and I'm happy to share it with you. It's the title track off my first national release 20 years ago, an album called What Kind of Brother. And yeah, also the title of the song. I were walking down the street, I heard you talk your line. You said, look at the rich chick, look at the fat chick. Hey, don't that hippie chick look fine? What is it in your background that makes you think that it's okay to talk about a woman that you see in such a ruthless way? She's somebody's mother, she's somebody's daughter, somebody's lover. She's somebody's sister, and I'm saying, mister, what kind of brother are you? What kind of brother? I know I haven't mentioned this before. I guess I was afraid to tell you how deeply offended I was at the comments that you made. I know that you think everything's a joke, even after all these years. But if you take the time to look behind that pretty smile, you would see the tears. She's somebody's mother, she's somebody's daughter, somebody's lover. She's somebody's sister, and I'm saying, mister, what kind of brother are you? What kind of brother? No, I don't think I'm perfect, and I'm not throwing stones your way, but I can't ignore what you say anymore, so my silence stops today. I know that you're a good man, so think about what you say and do. That could be your mother's sister or lover being hurt by a good man like you. She's somebody's mother, she's somebody's daughter, somebody's lover. She's somebody's sister, and I'm saying, mister, what kind of brother are you? And she is your mother, she is your daughter, she is your lover. And she's your sister, so tell me, hey mister, what kind of brother are you? What kind of brother? Tell me now, what kind of brother? Yeah, yeah, yeah. I had a specific request for this next song as well, actually several of them, via email. Thank you so much. I'm really glad. Nothing touches a songwriter's heart more than knowing that something has come through us from wherever it comes from into the world that touches people in their hearts, that touches people where they need to be touched at the right moment. And so for many people, including Tony, thanks for letting me know that this song speaks to you. It's called All Will Be Well, and I wrote this based on a prayer written by Julian of Norwich, a medieval mystic, and wrote this in honor of a friend's ordination, Unitarian Universalist minister up in Toronto, Pat Trudeau, the good Reverend Pat Trudeau. Sometimes people say the right reverend. With her, it's definitely the left reverend. This is All Will Be Well. All will be well. All will be well. All manner of things will be well. Wherever life may call you, wherever you may dwell, all will be well, all will be well. We gather here to witness and affirm the harmony of spirit and of heart, manifest within you, brought forth from deepest hope, to be a force of healing in this world. All will be well, all will be well, all manner of things will be well. Wherever life may call you, wherever you may dwell, all will be well, all will be well. You find your purpose in service to a light that emanates from each and every being that is life. We see the gifts that blossom in your care, and the people who are nourished by your love. All will be well, all will be well, all manner of things will be well. Wherever life may call you, wherever you may dwell, all will be well, all will be well. May you go forth to mend what has been broken, to feed those who are hungry, to quench the ones who thirst, for a world of compassion, for mercy that abounds, and a place to dwell in sacred gentleness. All will be well, all will be well, all manner of things will be well. Wherever life may call you, wherever you may dwell, all will be well, all will be well. Wherever life may call you, wherever you may dwell, all will be well, all will be well. All will be well, all will be well. Next, I'm going to play a lullaby that I wrote when my nieces were young. And I'll also mention that the next show that the Linden Tree is hosting is going to be two colleagues and much beloved friends of mine, Matt Watroba, Robert. My brain, Liz can type it in the chat. My brain has just gone blank on Reverend Robert's last name. Sorry, Robert. But Liz can type the date in for you there. It's coming up in early November, mid-November. each their own OCD. I'd say, no worries, it doesn't matter, but it actually does. It matters a great deal to me. So, there we are. Good night, moonlight. I see your eyelids droop. You're trying to keep them open. So much going on, you don't want to miss a thing. But now is the hour when you must be going off to the land where angels sing. And I say good night, dear one, go to bed. The day is almost through. You may rest your weary head. I will watch over you. May the moonlight hold you tight, dancing on your windowsill. I'll be right here by your side, longer than the dream times will. You ask me what are dreams, how can I answer? A place of joy and hope, but now and then a fear. As I lay you down for a long night's slumber, gliding down my cheek is a solitary tear. As I say good night, dear one, go to bed. The day is almost through. You may rest your weary head. I will watch over you. May the moonlight hold you tight, dancing on your windowsill. I'll be right here by your side, longer than the dream times will. 'Cause you don't like the dark, a little light is glowing, shining on the wall like a twinkle star. And may the blankets that you wear keep you warm and knowing if there is a need, well, I will not be far. As I say good night, dear one, go to bed. The day is almost through. You may rest your weary head. I will watch over you. May the moonlight hold you tight, dancing on your windowsill. I'll be right here by your side, longer than the dream times will. I'll be right here by your side, longer than the dream times will. Good night, moonlight. Good night, sunshine too. Good night, all the waking world. We'll be here when the dreaming time is through. This next one was written by Bob Gibson. When I was a kid, I declared to my family in no uncertain terms. I was probably about 12 years old when I declared to my family in very clear terms that it was my intent to grow up and become a folk singer. And I'm sure that my mother thought that was cute and that I would change my mind many times. I had already wanted to be an astronaut and a forest ranger. I'm guessing that my dad somewhere in there thought sooner or later I would have to choose between growing up or becoming a folk singer. But I managed to do both. Some would argue that I never quite grew up, but I'm good with that. Nonetheless, when my Uncle Bob heard about this, he lived near the Old Town School of Folk Music in Chicago, and he was friends with Bob Gibson. So we went to one of Bob's concerts and had him sign a record to me. It's called Uptown Saturday Night, an amazing album. And a bunch of people had a hand in producing that record. Rich Warren, who of course just finished a 4.5 decade tenure at WFMT hosting the Midnight Special. He's still hosting the folk stage, but big shout out to Rich Warren and the Midnight Special and the folk stage and WFMT. Rich had a hand in producing that record, and I later found out that Ann Hills had a hand in producing that record, one of the last that Bob Gibson did. But it was a beautiful recording and an amazing song, and it seems very appropriate for the moment. It's called Let the Band Play Dixie, and it's the story of how Abraham Lincoln greeted news that the Civil War was over. And he greeted it with an understanding that it was very much a time for healing, not a time for gloating, not a time for being a sore winner, but a time for healing. Was brung from Richmond in that fading April sun. Lee had handed Grant his sword and the war was finally won. And to the streets the people spilled, feeling the excitement build, and the crowd around the White House mill, asking, is it true? It's finally done. Inside the White House, Lincoln heard them calling out his name. He sat there wondering what to say to ease their years of pain. Someone yelled, come out the door and tell us what you've got in store for the rebels who have lost the war. So out into the porch, Abe Lincoln came. He said, we're gathered not in anger, but in celebration. Let's be thankful we are once again a single nation. Let's stand together reassured, now that peace has been secured. Our nation's illness can be cured, and I suggest the overture for this occasion. He said, let the band play Dixie, play that tune that holds its head up high and proud. once divided, bloody but unbowed. Take the swords of war and beat them back into a plow. On the day that Lee surrendered, Mr. Lincoln told the crowd, let the band play Dixie. A tired Union soldier hobbled on his only limb, filled with bitter memories the war had left with him. He dragged his wooden leg and cane. He stumbled, fell, and rose again, as he wondered what the future held for him. He spied a black child kneeling near in humble gratitude. He knelt down right beside her to share her thankful mood. Grateful words were raised in prayer. God, in your sweet loving care, our broken lives now please repair, and let our wounded nation be renewed. And let the band play Dixie, play that tune that holds its head up high and proud. And let our nation, once divided, bloody but unbowed, take the swords of war and beat them back into a plow. On the day that Lee surrendered, Mr. Lincoln told the crowd, let the band play Dixie. Let the band play Dixie. This next one also had several requests for. Barbara, if you're listening from up in Ontario, this is for you. It's also for many other people who have asked for this song. It's a song about finding hope in the darkness, in unexpected places. And I do believe that there is reason to hope, because human beings are resilient, and we find a way to rise time and again from difficult situations, from experiences of oppression, from injustice. We find a way to rise, and when we figure out how to do it together, we do it best. This is called Fireflies. The lightning strikes, the thunder rolls, there's a rumble in the distance. Love calls even when I am afraid. I feel it knock on my resistance. I still believe there are lights that shine, no matter what obscures my point of view. If I can't see the stars from where I stand, I guess the fireflies will have to do. How I wish my life were simple, like when I was a child long ago. My sense of wonder could be held within a mason jar, and I was cradled in their glow. I still believe there are lights that shine, no matter what obscures my point of view. If I can't see the stars from where I stand, I guess the fireflies will have to do. One by one, I capture my dreams and try to hold them in my hand, but it seems they always slip away through the hourglass falling sand. As I sit here on this warm Virginia night, searching for a sign that's true, tiny beacons flicker in the darkness and tell me that this storm will pass on through. I still believe there are lights that shine, no matter what obscures my point of view. If I can't see the stars from where I stand, I guess the fireflies will have to do. If I can't see the stars from where I stand, I guess the fireflies will have to do. The fireflies will have to do. Finding hope in the darkness, finding hope in each other. So I'm going to wrap up with one that most of you know, I'm guessing, and I do hope you'll sing along from wherever you are. Again, one last plug. There's a tip jar out there, so to speak, a ticket jar, we'll call it. And if you're able, please contribute as generously as you can. Keep the music flowing. I've got other concerts coming up, but also has the Linden Tree other concerts coming up. So please check the Linden Tree's website for more music. If you are not a subscriber of my YouTube channel, please subscribe. It costs you nothing, and it helps me get over the 1,000 subscriber hurdle. And when I do that, I have access to a whole lot more tools as a music creator. So please subscribe to my YouTube channel. So my next shows are coming up on the 6th of November. I'll be doing a concert for the Americana Community Music Association in Fort Myers, Florida, obviously from the home studio here, not traveling to Florida, but in partnership with them on the 8th, in partnership with Isis Music Hall in Asheville, North Carolina. And other concerts coming up in December. Focus Music in DC is hosting me again for an online show. And in mid-December, I'll be doing a special holiday concert broadcast from here, but a whole set of repertoire that's specifically focused on the season and perhaps one of the more social justice-oriented holiday concerts you will have ever heard. So put that on your calendar and be mindful of it. If you're not on the Joe Jencks mailing list, you can go to joejencks.com, joejencks.com, and sign up for the mailing list there. And please keep in touch. Please shoot me emails, send me notes. If you have requests, songs that you really wanted to hear tonight that I didn't get to, send me a note between now and the 6th of November, and I'll do my best to work them in on that show or on the 8th at Isis. Thanks so much for tuning in tonight. Thanks to Anna Ratliff for running the stream for me. Thanks to Liz Freeman, all the crew at Linden Tree Coffee House. Thanks for your generosity, but most of all, thanks for being engaged in the world. Thanks for being kind people. Kindness is going to get us through whatever lies ahead. Graciousness. This land is your land. This land is my land, from California to the New York Islands, from the Redwood Forest to the Gulf Stream waters. This land was made for you and me. As I was walking that ribbon of highway I saw above me, that endless skyway I saw below me, that golden valley. This land was made for you and me. This land is your land, this land is my land. From California to the New York Island, from the redwood forest to the Gulf Stream water. This land was made for you and me. I've roamed and rambled, and I followed my footsteps to the sparkling sands of her diamond deserts, and all around me a voice came sounding. This land was made for you and me. This land is your land, this land is my land. From California to the New York Island, from the redwood forest to the Gulf Stream waters. This land was made for you and me. As I was walking, I saw a sign there, and on that sign it said private property, but on the other side it didn't say nothing. That side was made for you and me. This land is your land, this land is my land. From California to the New York Island, from the redwood forest to the Gulf Stream water. This land was made for you and me. In the center of the city, in the shadow of the steeple, by the relief office, I saw my people. They stood there hungry, I stood there wondering. This land was made for you and me. This land is your land, this land is my land. From California to the New York Islands, from the redwood forest to the Gulf Stream waters. This land was made for you and me. Nobody living can ever stop me as I go walking that freedom highway. Nobody living can make me turn back. This land was made for you and me. This land is your land. This land is your land. This land is my land. From California to the New York Island, from the redwood forest to the Gulf Stream water. This land was made for you and me. This land was made for you and me. Don't forget it. This land was made for you and me. Thank you. Thank you so much. Absolute pleasure to be here with you this evening, and hope to see you again soon. All right. You talked me into it. One more. This also feels like a very appropriate and patriotic song to sing right now. It's a song that I wrote the morning that Pete Seeger passed away. It's called Let Me Sing You a Song. But Sing along if you know it. You've asked me here to tell you about my neighbors and my friends, to talk about the who and what, the where and how and when. But I won't give you anything that you don't already know. But if you'd like, I'll sing that list of songs before I go. Let me sing you a song about the people that I love, the poets and philosophers, the workers and the wanderers, the ones who walk the picket lines, who dare to stand and fight, and the ones who hold their babies close and rock them through the night. Well, you say it's un-American to do the things I do. Well, I sing for justice, liberty, and civil rights, it's true. Well, I say it's un-American to ask me how I vote, how I pray, or what I believe. But here's a song I wrote. Let me sing you a song about the people that I love, the poets and philosophers, the workers and the wanderers, the ones who walk the picket lines, who dare to stand and fight, and the ones who hold their babies close and rock them through the night. In 1955, Pete Seeger was called before the House Un-American Activities Committee. He was called to answer questions about the songs he was writing and what they were about, who he was singing them for or writing them with. He was asked to identify other musicians and artists that he may be collaborating with. He was asked about his political views and his religious views, houses of worship he may or may not have attended. All of these were questions that a literate person could understand to be in violation of their constitutional rights. So Pete answered the questions respectfully as he could, but a little bit vague. He said, and I paraphrase, he said, "Gentlemen, I'm just a singer. I travel all over the world and I sing songs that serve to lessen the distance between people. As for these other accusations that you're making, well, I'm not sure how to respond, but I brought my banjo with me to Congress today, and if you'd like, well, I'd be happy to sing some of those songs for you." Well, they declined his gracious offer, and they kept asking him more questions. And his answers continued to be respectful, but a little bit vague. And finally, one of the congressmen stomped his foot and said, "Mr. Seeger, are you pleading the Fifth Amendment?" Well, Pete looked at the congressman. He looked over at his lawyer, looked back at the congressman and said, "Why, no, sir, I'm pleading the First Amendment. If I had a hammer, I'd hammer in the morning, I'd hammer in the evening, all over this land. I'd hammer out danger, I'd hammer out warning, I'd hammer out love between my brothers and my sisters all over this land." Well, if you want to send me to prison, I guess that's the way it'll be. 'Cause I won't give you fodder for your paranoid machine. If the price of my silence is shackles, well then feathers take me away. For I will live to sing again and rise with a brand new day. Let me sing you a song about the people that I love, the poets and philosophers, the workers and the wanderers, ones who walk the picket lines, who dare to stand and fight, and the ones who hold their babies close and rock them through the night. Sing along. La da 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 da. It's the easy part. La da 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 da. La da 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 la da da da. La da 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 la da 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 da. La da 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 da. La da 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 da. La da 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 la da 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 da. Let me sing you a song. Let me sing you a song about the people that I love, the poets and philosophers, the workers and the wanderers, the ones who walk the picket lines, who dare to stand and fight, and the ones who hold their babies close and rock them through the night. Yes, the ones who hold their babies close and rock them through the night. Thank you so much. Thanks to the Linden Tree Coffee House in Wakefield, Massachusetts. Check out their website. But mostly thanks to all of you for dialing in this evening, tuning in. And thank you for supporting live music even in these times. So grateful for your presence in the world and in the folk music community. And please be in touch. Shoot me an email. I'll respond. Take care.